Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? I am live with Ernie. Ernie is at the Coffee Show location, and I'm in Longwood, Florida, outside of
He's on
Orlando.
vacation.
On vacation. We just got back from Dallas from Aquashella, and now I'm at the Waterbox event for Blue Friday. If you guys get a chance, join me at 4 p.m. on the Waterbox page. We're showing you guys some freshwater series, and that's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. Today, we're going to show you guys some freshwater hacks. Do me a favor, Peter, hit that intro. So what is happening, guys? So today we're talking about with freshwater hacks, and one of the things we're going to get into, Ernie and I, is one of the things the OSA has gotten super well known for is using reef-ready systems on freshwater aquariums. That has been one of the biggest hacks we've been able to do. When you use these advanced systems, it is fantastic, and it's a great way to success. Ernie, how do you feel about it?
I never even thought it was going to be a thing, and it turned into a thing. People buying high-end reef tanks and doing freshwater with them, and the results are phenomenal. I did one myself. I did a Waterbox Reef 100.3 as a discus tank. Big pieces of wood sticking out of it, plants sticking out of it. It's probably my favorite tank at home, and I'm the saltwater guy. So the results are just phenomenal.
Yeah, what I like about it is the filtration system. When you're doing the life support system that way, and you're giving people the most successful to keep their aquariums clean, to give them the best filtration possible, it works the absolute best.
There's literally no maintenance on the filtration of these systems besides cleaning the filter socks. You fill it up with lava rock or bio bowls, throw a UV sterilizer in there, and you're done. Tanks are beautiful. They're crystal clear. Your water changes. You still got to do the big ones for discus, but for the regular, the Africans and stuff, your water changes are less. And they're beautiful tanks.
So let's talk to Freshwater Joe. Let's bring his video in. We're going to show you guys more in depth on these systems. Peter, hit that video.
Welcome back to another episode of Ocean State Aquatics TV, or OSA Live. Tonight we are talking about sumps and why they are fantastic, not only for reef systems, but put that all aside. We're talking about sumps in a freshwater aquarium and why they are superior to any other filtration, in my opinion. Let's get into this. Some filtrations have many advantages over counterparts in the aquarium industry. Canisters, hang-on back, sponge filters. There's a number of different other types, but today specifically we're going to be talking about your sump filtration. And the reason I like them the most is because of the ease of access, the ease of cleaning. You're adding water volume to the aquarium. You have an immense amount of surface area and space that you can put beneficial bacteria, and you can really overstock the aquarium once you put it on a sump versus having an adequately rated canister or hang-on back filter or just a few sponge filters. It becomes a whole world of difference for your maintenance. All right, we're gonna do this in 3 minutes. We're gonna be fast. Your filtration, you come down here, you bend down, no more O-rings, no more splashing water everywhere. Your filtration socks, your mechanical media, your your heater, UV sterilizer, or any chemical filtration you want in the back chamber here. It's very, very simple. Your return pump pumps back up to the display. Your maintenance becomes once a week or as often as your socks get clogged. Could be more, could be less. Come over here with a little 5-gallon bucket. As you can see here underneath the sump, we got some clogged socks. So we're gonna pull them out. So these have been here for about, I would say, 8 days. Take them out of the sump, turn them inside out, and we have a special company that comes and cleans them. You can clean them yourself at home. Very simple. This is as much as we have to do. I don't have to shut anything down. I don't have to rinse anything out. I mean, I guess somebody does along the line for us, but you're just cleaning the socks. And the sump maintenance is easy as that. You take the dirty socks out, you come over here, you got these nice brand new clean socks, and you put them in. Now all the people that are in the reef aquariums, they're like, yeah, okay, that's the same thing that I have to do. But you don't have to have a reef aquarium to have a sump. They work fantastic, and even better, in my opinion, than other filtrations for especially large fish for freshwater. So any African cichlids, big sebrums, big South Americans, even discus, you're increasing the water volume. You have an immense amount of filtration media space. Look at all that lava stone in there. So this is as easy as it gets, guys. No more rinsing and wringing out sponges. You just replace your socks. Boom, just like that. And that's it. You come back, you close it. I didn't have to open up a O-ring and try and seal it back up. There's no water on the floor. And I clean my socks. And then you come back in a week. All right, folks, so keeping this short and sweet here, I recommend every 6 to 8 months, any of your biological filtration media, if you're using some porous stone like this, like the lava stone that we use at the OSA, or if you're using some ceramic media, ceramic rings, porous stone, anything like that, getting in there and cleaning any detritus or mold buildup that's in the sump, like every 6 to 8 months, you'll take it out, you keep it wet, you siphon out the sump, you clean it up, and that's it. You put it all back in and dose something like the Fritz Turbo Start to reintroduce some more beneficial bacteria in case you inadvertently killed any off in that little process. And that's basically how to maintain and keep a sump. It's very simple. No more O-rings, no more hang-on backs, priming issues. You get a really nice quality pump like the CJ SDC, and it's very simple. It's that simple. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching my little spiel on sumps. We can go into more depth if you want to come in to the Seacon Coventry or Wakefield store and talk to one of our retail staffs about them, or getting into your first sump system, or even all-in-one, which is very similar. And we'll look forward to seeing you here or at our other locations. And let's get back to the live video. Enjoy.
Great video, Joe. Joe did a fantastic job on that. And what I also love about these systems is what we're trying to do is we want you to have an epic freshwater aquarium, and we want it to be family approved. This way here, your whole family wants it in the middle of the living room. It's a show. It looks great all the time. Nobody wants an aquarium that has to be in the basement. Nobody likes it. It's jet green all the time. It never looks good. You want something that looks simply epic. You see it, you look at it every day. And the other cool things is the tech that we get into. Ernie, what's your top favorite pods about that?
Another thing is you don't usually get, sometimes aquarium will get that fishy odor to it. These sump systems, these tanks never get that odor to them. And if you do need to run activated carbon or something, you just put it in a bag and you throw it in the sump and you're done. Like Joe was saying, you're not cracking a canister open. You just plop a bag in the sump and you walk away and you're done with that. I'm sorry, Scott, what was your question?
No, just like talking about some of the gear and some of the text that we use. So like one of the things you see on those tanks that are in the background, AI primes, fantastic light for the freshwater series. We also use, you will see us, we'll use smaller Pico lights. We use the Reef Breeder Pico lights. Another great light, not as good as an AI prime, but still a fantastic light. The different choices in woods to make that tank look elegant. And the other thing you'll notice even in that video was Joe did 3 different actually styles. You're seeing 2 water box tanks. One was actually all planted, and the other one was artificial plants. And there was bits and pieces of it. There's actually a hardscape African cichlid tank. So you can take that aquarium anywhere you want. The other thing is the oxygen turnover rate that you get with a sump system and the amount of biomedia that you can pack inside it. When you can use whether it's any sort of bioblock, whether it's lava rock, any sort of heavy porous material, because this way here you can build beneficial bacteria all the time on that setup. And the other thing is like Ernie loves gear. And one of his top favorite things is he loves to use the CJ pumps. Why do you like to use the CJ pumps, Ernie?
I've fallen in love with the SDC line of the C-shape pumps because when they say they are silent, they are absolutely, you cannot hear these things run. Getting off subject a little bit, I replumbed my 328 saltwater tank 2 weeks ago. And when I replumb a tank, I get a little nervous, just especially when you're dealing with that volume of water. So I slept in that room that night that the tank is in. I put 2 SDC 9s on that tank. I woke up 4 times that night thinking the power was out because there was absolutely no noise in that room. The other C-shaped pumps work great as well. The SDCs are fully controllable. They're DC pumps. You download an app to your phone. It actually will give you a temperature reading of your tank and other things. So it's basically a return pump and a mini controller all built into one. And the warranties they put on them are 3 to 5 years. You cannot touch that for anything in this industry. And
What
the
I like
people
about
are
those, yeah, no, what I like about those we were talking about on the topic is especially the app. I love how advanced the app is. I like the fact that it actually shows the temperature control. If something goes wrong with a pump, it'll actually go a warning across your cell phone with that app. You can
and you
control
know
the flow.
immediately.
Yeah, and we had an issue at CCON where it actually sent Freshwater Joe an alert, and we were able to fix it before it turned into a problem. And I love that capability. We're using better gear that we've seen on these reef tanks, bringing them to fresh water, and the success rate is unbelievable. The fish losses are so minute. It's unbelievable. And I love naming fish and keeping them and in long terms and the colors. That's one of the things I love about the AI lights. It's a different look, right? I love saltwater when it comes to corals and that blue and that psychedelic look. I love freshwater because I love the bright lights, the intense colors, because it's bright. It's really freshwater tanks are bright. They're a lot actually brighter than saltwater tanks because saltwater tanks more that psychedelic, that deeper darker blue, where you have these water intense lights, these brighter colors, and some of the fish are crazy, especially when it comes to different African cichlids or South American cichlids.
I actually took all my saltwater geek nerdy tech knowledge and used it on my freshwater tank. I just set up freshwater tank 8 months ago. I haven't had one in over 30 years. And I was like, I've got all this extra gear. I'm going full salt water with this thing, even though it's freshwater tank. It's even doing auto water changes. I'm treating it like a reef tank. It's only 100.3. I've got 14 discus in there, about 16 cardinal tetras, a dozen rummy noses, like 5 plec. You want to talk about an overstocked tank? This tank is overstocked beyond belief, and the system handles it without any issues at all. It's an awesome way to go, and nobody ever really thought of doing it. And I love the fact that it's catching on.
And then the other thing is, I love being with hide heaters. We want everything to look like a professional public aquarium exhibit. That is the best part. We want to see the only thing we want to see in there is the decor and the fish. You can hide the heaters in the back. Ernie, what heater would you choose?
I personally like the Finex titaniums. That's following me over from salt water because it's got a controller. I don't trust heaters. And the more redundancy you have on a heater, the better. So with the controller, it just gives you more redundancy on that heater not getting stuck on you. The Aqueons are very good as well. The Aqueon Pros. Just remember, you got to replace them yearly, bi-yearly. You can push it to 2 years, but I would replace it every year to 2 years. It's the most inexpensive part of your entire life support system, but it's the one that can kill your fish the fastest. They get stuck when they break now. They get stuck in the on position, and when a heater gets stuck in the on position, your water can go into the 90s really fast. And organisms like fish, even your plants, won't tolerate that. They can tolerate getting cold. They do not like overheating. So just keep an eye on your heaters.
We always want to give you options at the OSA, and that's one of the things we came up with OSAchoice.com was because we wanted to give you the good, the better, and the best. Actually, do me a favor, Peter. Can you hit that video quick? We're just going to show you guys a quick video on OSA Choice. And that's one of the reasons why we installed that chat in is because we can answer those questions for you. Listen, when you ask those questions on the website, you're asking us, it's either me, it's Amy, it's Joe, or it's Allie. It's just one of us four, and somebody's there, and we can always there to hit you guys up. Now, one of the things I also want to get
somebody to the left of me right now on there.
yeah, it's just how it works. And we always want to be able to know that we ship products. We don't ship aquariums. It's on there, but we do ship products all over the country. Now, what I also love about is the life support systems, these filtration systems, is the Micron socks. Now, some people hate Micron socks. Some people love Micron socks. Ernie, how do you feel about the Micron socks on these?
I run them consistently. I can't stand changing them out. One saltwater aspect I haven't thought of doing yet would be to be doing a roller mat on one of these freshwater systems, and I think that might be my next experiment.
That's pretty cool. There's always something new we're always trying to play with. Like today, this weekend at Waterbox, I'm setting up using a lava rock. I like its porous, but sometimes it builds up a lot of heavy material. What I'm also curious about is whether or not we can do an MBBR filtration media, one that spins into it. And that's the best part about these aquariums. We can take things and see how advanced we can make this and build these advanced life supports and just share the fun with you guys, see our success, show what works for you, and we want to make this as simple as possible, as fun as possible, and better yet, I want it to look awesome in the house, and the whole family loves it. It's not a tank in the basement. It's not this green blob. It looks epic, and the whole place loves it. Ernie, anything else you want to add tonight?
These tanks really are becoming centerpieces of people's houses. They're gorgeous. The live plant aspect of the plants coming out of the tank is starting to catch on. The more people that are seeing the ones that are in the store, the more that's catching on, and that's just another aspect. We started with the wood sticking out of the tanks, and it looked great. Now the plants are coming out of the tanks as well, and that it's just becoming an ecosystem in the middle of your living room. It's beautiful to sit back, relax, and watch.
That's what we do because we go above the rim, and that's what we're basing the whole setup. You guys will see the setup I'm doing right here at Waterbox on that, and that's what I love. I love using everything coming up and out of the glass box is absolutely amazing. Now, one of the biggest things is since I'm here in Florida, getting ready for the big Waterbox Blue Friday event, you guys know what that means. This weekend is the Blue Friday sale at all 3 OSA locations. So you got Seekonk, you got Coventry, you got Wakefield. And it's all aquariums, 10% off. You guys get all special deals. On top of it, normally when we do these deals on 10% aquariums, it's just 10% on just aquariums. So the difference on Blue Friday versus other events, we're doing 10% off the entire package deal. So if you get a package deal, you're getting 10% off of that too. And we never do that. So this is probably the biggest sale if you're getting a full setup that we have available. You guys make sure you check Ernie. Ernie has so many tanks in stock. That place is loaded up. Coventry's jam-packed. Seacock, we even pulled the couch out of there so we could fit more tanks in. And Wakefield is loaded. If you guys haven't checked out Wakefield, Wakefield opened up on Monday. It is all set. Allie is there. Definitely go ahead and check it out. This weekend, I'm gonna get arriving from the airport Saturday morning early. I'll be working at Seacock with Joe. Ernie's got a massive crew at Coventry, and we are ready to go. The thing is, we wanted to get you into a tank. We want you to be very successful. We want you to love it, and we also have installation and financing available as well. Anything else, Ernie?
I look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. We've got some beautiful tanks in store. The 180 gallon is still in here. It's a canopied tank. It's blowing my mind that tank is still here. If that doesn't sell this weekend, I might buy it myself. I'm just letting you all know. It's gorgeous. That's about all I got.
Gentlemen, this is Peter. Gentlemen, hang on one second. We have a question from Michael Kaplan. He wants to know, what was the name of the heater, Ernie, you said you liked best? I believe it was a Finex Titanium?
Finex Titanium.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
Another really great heater, they're hard to get now, is the Eheim Jagger. It used to be company used to be Ebo Jagger. Eheim bought them out. Now it's Eheim Jagger. Those are phenomenal heaters. They're just really hard to find.
We also like the blue lines as well. They're kind of like the Finexes as well. Those heaters have worked the best for us, especially in scenarios. There's nothing worse than losing fish, especially in New England, right? We have temperature changes up, down all the time. You guys have seen it this week. It was 36 out this morning. A few days ago, it was 65 degrees. It's just the way it works up in New England. So when you want to make sure you get yourself a great heater, if you do get something like an Aqueon, which is honestly an Aqueon heater for the price, for that $60 range.
It's a good heater.
It's a good heater, but I'm going to tell you right now, you should still replace that heater once a year. I know you don't want to hear that, But those heaters, after that time, they do go. That's just something. That's the name of the game.
Make sure your heaters are working now that it's getting this cold out, and make sure it's plugged in. A lot of us unplug heaters in the summer and use that outlet for something else. Make sure the heater's plugged in because it is getting cold. I saw frost the first time this morning, so it's winter's on its way. While you're down there in Florida,
All right, Ernie, I'm going to let you get out of here, guys. I'm going to bring Peter in, and we're talking Aquashella, but before you bring it in, Peter, show us that video of all the stores.
Have a good night, guys.
Well, hello
Make sure
there.
you guys come check out the stores. What's happening, Peter? Obviously, we got to update that video, but that's it. So, Peter and I just got back the other day from Aquashella Dallas, and I have to say, was that not the biggest event you've been to so far?
Oh, beyond epic. That show was mind-blowing. I mean, Saturday, I've never been at anything like that for an aquatic show. It was truly next level.
It was insane the amount of people that came in for attendance, and I was like, especially with COVID and everything else. But it was almost like I'm telling you guys right now. It felt good to be a part of that, watching it and knowing how well this industry in general is going. And honestly, the amount of people that were there, some of the YouTube guys that were there. I mean, you were talking about the king of DIY himself, Joey, was there. You had Brett Raymer from Tank there.
Yep.
You had Greg Woodstock, Pond Guy. You had honestly. So, like, just a crazy mix of people from all over the country.
Yeah, you really did. And I just want to say hello, Mr. Winfrey. He said hi, guys. So, yeah, it's, again, we talk about it. Aquashella is its own thing. It's a festival. It's art, fresh, salt, reptile, mermaids. I was like chilling out with mermaids for the weekend. Like, it's just crazy stuff. And, that's kind of the thing is, no matter what side of the fence, or even if you cross fences, there's still something there to see and or do beyond going there just to look for, some new corals or to check out a piece of equipment you've been looking for or whatever the case is. You go there and I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank on it, but the dude that walks around all day long with like just different snakes draped around him. He's got the lip ring. No, The other dude, he's in the booth with CustomAquarium.com.
Blue Dog Aquatics. It's
yes, Blue Dog.
Blue Dog. Yeah, I just forgot his name, but it's Blue Dog Aquatics. Yeah.
Yeah, him. So, I mean, it's like all day you turn around and there's like some dude walking around with a big boa wrapped around his neck. And like the last show, I think he had this crazy cool like chameleon he was chilling with. And, and then it was Halloween. Let's talk about that. I mean, we had people dressed up in costumes. We had, it was just a good time. I mean, you don't even have to. Yeah, seriously, Diver Man. That was awesome. So you guys should be hearing more about that, especially in a recap episode of the podcast that we talk with him. But we're gonna have our first aquatic comic book coming to the scene soon. So if you're into the comic scene, you'll be represented in the community now with Diver Man Diver Man. So
Diver Man.
So that was just so cool. And I don't know. Every time I go to one, I'm like, oh, we've hit the peak, and then you go to the next one, and you're like, dang.
That's what I'm saying. How are they going to top that?
I don't know.
It was so insane. Like, I don't know if you could top that. And I tell you, Dallas just brought in, like, people came from everywhere, and they joined between all the Aquascape contests. Like, there was people that didn't even care. Like, you were talking about freshwater people that were joining all the saltwater, and there were saltwater people joining all the fresh. It was just an overall mix.
Well, you and I always do like the scape offs together or the frag thing, and we're doing the crowd banter and stuff. And I'm always amazed how many freshwater people are in there watching, the saltwater thing. So I really tried to incorporate, some lack of a better word, educational components where I'm at least trying to explain things or I let them ask questions. And especially this time in the saltwater scape off, man, we had some heavy hitters. We had Kevin from TSA who was all business up against Dwayne from Ward Aquatics. And they wanted, well, Kevin wanted and Dwayne agreed to it, 40 minutes for the scape off. I was dying up there. I was like in the audience, like sitting with people, talking with them, bringing them up on stage.
You guys can go back and go on the Aquashella page and check all this out. It's like the funniest thing. And you'll see everything on it.
It's yeah, so all the contests were live streamed, so you can definitely go catch them, and they were pretty funny. And Sunday was a tough day. We might have taken that energy from Saturday and carried it to the after party a little. I had a tough day Sunday. It took me a little while to get my my energy back.
I wish I made you take a picture of yourself in your costume after you get up so I could show everyone how you were Sunday morning. I mean, he was dressed as a sloth, okay? He's got these big glasses. He can't even see it. He's like hanging over like the whole podcast station. Like, I can't move.
The glasses were so you didn't know my eyes were closed. So the lighting was just so loud. It's it's bad when light is loud. So, yeah. What?
What do you think the future is for us? Like, where do you think we're gonna take? Where your aquarium show is gonna go from now?
It's interesting. It's Aquashella has a formula for something different, but even with that formula of being something different, these industries always have ebb and flows. I'm not sure what more. I mean, I know, in my opinion, some of the things that we're talking about that I can't really talk about here to add more interactivity for people that aren't at the show and stuff. So we're talking about adding some tech to a show like that. So I think that's one place we can definitely go. I think there's definitely more that can be done in like this live stream space for interactivity with people and things like that. But as far as what you can bring to a show to go above and beyond, I mean, short of adding like an extension to the show where a band plays at 6 o'clock or something, I don't even know. I'm just totally spitballing here, but yeah, a DJ and a dance party at 7 o'clock when the show floor ends, or so I don't know, but I do believe this festival atmosphere is probably the most appealing for mass
it's fun for everyone.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
It's fun for everyone. It's open, freshwater, saltwater. You're seeing reptiles. It is fun. I don't even care if you've never had an aquarium and you just want to take the kids out for a day. It is appealing for every single person. And that's one of the things I love. And getting people into the hobby, because that's the most important thing, is getting people into the hobby and having them successful.
Well, that's really, that's always the key is not only do we want to get people into the hobby, but we want to create a platform for them to be successful and sustainable on, because, I mean, there's probably thousands of people that get into the hobby every day, but probably twice as many that get out every other day. Shows like this are really bringing communities together to add a level of hands-on knowledge between the demos or the working with the vendors or whatever to set people up to be more successful from the get-go. And obviously, stores like OSA, you guys are doing a ton of stuff for education. I think that's really the fine line that these shows have to do. They have to find a way to provide a level of education that just isn't like speakers. I mean, speakers are great, but at the end of the day, speakers aren't for everybody. I mean, we live with we're getting into generations that have multiple second attention spans. So, speakers aren't always for everybody, but finding ways to do more hands-on demo. You know what? I never got a chance to talk to him about it, but Brett Raymer had a booth there doing something. And one thing that I've been a big proponent of, and I was actually talking to Jeff Senske about it at the original Aquashella, at the very first one in Chicago. I think the next place for this industry to go that would be really cool, and if I ever do a booth, I'm going to do it there, is a couple virtual reality headsets and let you be able to build a tank in virtual reality, plumb a tank, put a filter together, see what it's like to do, maintenance in virtual reality. To me, that's the next step that I'm exploring. It's the development of it is pretty extensive, and not a lot of people have it. But to me, that is going to be the next step for getting people to be successful, because now they're going to go and have a virtual aquarium, which requires all the same maintenance as a real one, except for you put the goggles on and you're working things with your hands in a virtual space. And then after you're successful there, you go, all right, man, I can keep this virtual tank alive. I'm going to go down to OSA and fire up a nice big water box and have about a real tank. So that's where I think the next logical place is, in bringing like a booth to a show.
Way too ready for the meta than I am. All right, I am not ready for this. I'm not ready for NFTs. Like, I am not ready for that part of the new world. What I like to do, I like to have an aquarium. I like to do it, be successful myself, and get it fun. No what? Good for you, Peter. I just can't play that game. But you know what? It's out there for somebody, and I'm going to tell you, we saw Brett was doing something with that, some sort of virtual reality.
He had
so
something with or actually no, it wasn't VR. He had it as AR, which is augmented reality, which is like if you hold your phone up and like take like IKEA has an app where you can put their furniture in your living room. So you just hold your camera up so you can see your living room. You can drop stuff. That's augmented reality. And his banner said something about AR. So I think if I had to guess, maybe he's doing something where you can take a picture of your tank and put augmented reality fish to see what fish or rocks or corals would look like in your tank. And again, I have no concept, I'm guessing, but that really seems the only viable application for AR in our industry, is to, see what stuff looks like in your tank if you want to virtually scape your tank or whatever. But VR is totally immersive, and I'm going to bring my VR headset up to the shop one day and put you in it and see you just like lose your mind when how trippy it is.
I feel like I'm a real life cartoon character in real life.
That's
maybe
it.
it might work.
Steve Tremblay, who's a fellow IT guy, shout out to us geeks. Steve said that's a great idea, Peter. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. So you and I, drop me a line. We'll get some investors and we'll get moving on developing this, Steve.
What I want to know from you guys is, I got a question. So we talked, Peter and I talked about this today. I've talked about it a little bit in the back. Do you think New England's ready back for a trade show? Should we bring it back? And should we take it to the next level? Like, that is the question. I'm telling you, I talked to Sean Hale. More than likely, I'm going to tell you, we're going to bring a Reef Works to New England. But could we do an all-exclusive aquarium show? Is that what guys, I need to know. In the comment sections, you guys got to let me know, do you want an aquarium show in New England? I can only base it upon what you guys are thinking, how you guys are feeling, and we just make it like an ultimate party. We base it on you guys and go from there.
Yep, we got Steve said we need it. Yeah, we got feedback already. James Albrecht says next level for sure. Steve says we need an Aquashell in New England. I think the public's ready, Scott, and the cat's out of the bag a little early that we're discussing it, but Scott and I have some harebrained ideas that between Scott's napkin business planning and designing that somehow just seems to work every time, and my insanity ideas of technology and everything else, like we could do something pretty stupid here and have a New England exclusive something, but
we just want everybody to have fun and a good time. I think sometimes that's forgotten. Like, we do go to show like guys go to make money, but in the grand scheme, money's not everything. It's really not. It's the love and the heart and the passion. And I'm a guy that gets stressed out sometimes because like, oh, I gotta get this up. But in the grand scheme, I love this. I get to do what I love every single day. I'm heartily grateful. And by doing that, it's like, what else can you do by giving back? Like, even if it's a loss, like sometimes I'm just like, screw it. We had a great time. If we break even, that's all I care about. Like, I just want everybody to come and have a great time. And that's what we did at KOR.
Yep.
But if we could do it on a level where everybody's invited, right? You don't have to be a saltwater. You could be anyone, and everyone's open to that. Somebody wants to get into it. And I definitely think that is something we're going to – I feel like it's like our duty to move forward with it. And especially as the world changes and we move forward, let's have a blast with it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think New England is unique in its own right. I mean, we're a small community and a bunch of small states that are really easy. I mean, most places in all New England is only like 2 hours to get to wherever in a central location. So, I think we could do something really different. We have our own flair. We have our own, certain typical New England ways. I think we could do something uniquely New England, but next level for the people, for interactivity, fresh salt. Again, reptiles or turtles are hot, man. What's up with turtles lately?
Turtles are listen, turtles are hot, but they gotta be set up right too. Like they gotta be set up right. That's all. Like I love pink belly side necks. I think that's a smoking show turtle. I
Dude,
love it. Obviously I love
the best
oh, yeah, I
tank,
was gonna say
the
the
best
Fly
tank at
River.
Aquashella was the turtle tank there.
The legality on those guys is so questionable though. That's the only thing. Like
What kind of
because
turtle
rules
was
and
that?
regulations. Called a fly river or pink
Oh
nose
yeah,
turtle.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta have like they're a CITES species. They gotta be imported illegally. That's why I mean Fish Guy does a great job. I'm not all those turtles are big giant turtles. They've been
Oh
there
yeah, yeah.
for years. It's nothing simple. You see babies floating around. That's when I get questionable. But there is some companies now importing them legally, and there is some captive breeding going on. And I didn't think for years that was, but I mean that's a smoke. It's an insane turtle, but it's also a turtle that goes anywhere from like $2,000 to $5,000 a piece. But it's just what it comes down to. But I love this industry. I love it so much. I get to do what I love every single day, and I think we got to
we love watching you love what you do, because that's the joy we get out of this, is seeing you so excited about it. So your excitement makes us excited. So we thank you for bringing this level every day. So Scott, I don't want to hold you up. Any other final thoughts on Aquashella?
No, let's get out of here. I had a great time at Aquashella. Peter, hope you guys had a good time. Thanks, guys, for joining us for Freshwater Hacks today with Ernie and myself. Freshwater Joe, make sure, if you guys haven't checked out, make sure you check out Wakefield, the newest store. It's a freshwater-only store. So we got Coventry if you guys want saltwater and freshwater. Seekonk is strictly freshwater. Wakefield, strictly freshwater. And don't forget to check out osachoice.com. I don't care where you're from. We ship over the country, not aquariums, but products, dry goods. You have somebody there that can answer questions for you, have that ability to ask. We're getting out of here, guys. I love your faces. Max out, baby.
Peace.
Woo!